What is going on, everybody, on Twitch and TikTok? It's good to see you. I've been away for a few days. I'm Jan. I am the creator and producer of Justice for Hire, the series that we are producing as a community. We have a global cast, and anyone can join the cast of Justice for Hire from justiceforhire.app. You can become a hero, a villain, or a client that hires heroes and villains. And for you guys on TikTok, since you're not on Twitch, you don't get the view of the editing software in the background as easily. So I've got this little screen set up behind me so you guys can see that and enjoy and contribute to the process, this whole process that we're doing here. It's never been done before. Live editing a show while actually asking people, community, to contribute content to the actual show that we're producing. So it is late. It's 10:01 p.m. on the West Coast. I'm North Hollywood, in California. So I'm very sleepy, and I keep on coming out of these things sleepy because I'm working so much during the day. So, but this has got to get done, and every little bit we do gets us farther along in the process. So, with all that said, I have to mention that Justice for Hire is the first show that we're doing for our company, Real World. And Real World is all about making movies and shows with communities. So if you want to see more films, more shows made with communities, it is the inevitable future. The future of film and television is social, and we're all going to be making stuff together. So Real World, our company, is the world's first social film studio. And if you want to see more of these shows, you can invest in the company and own a piece of it as we grow. It'll become more and more valuable. It's a $2 trillion market. It's a huge market opportunity. And I highly recommend going to wefunder.com/realworld, REELWURLD. Again, REELWURLD. Real like a movie reel, and you because you're in it. Real World. And you can own part of the company and support us as we're growing. It's a huge deal, and it's our first equity crowdfunding campaign. And again, the whole point is to make more movies and shows like we're making Justice for Hire, produced with the community where anyone can join the cast. Again, you can join from justiceforhire.app. Right now, you can become a villain, a hero, or a client that hires heroes and villains. And the whole story is like Uber for heroes, where you can hire a hero or become one and get paid. So with that in mind, we're going to start this live editing session right now. And I am switching up the screens so you guys can see more readily. Again, on TikTok, always feel free to ask questions, TikTok and Twitch folks. Last time, I'm so into the editing that I may not actually see the questions that you're asking on Twitch especially. So I'm doing my best here. And why does it say music? It says music category. That makes no sense. Why? Why does it say that? My stream info says music, but it should actually say art. So I'm going to switch that up right now. Boom. Art. There we go. I'm going to save that. I don't know how that happened. So here we are. We are at art. And we're doing it. So here we go. So we're I don't even remember where we left off. This is the 20th day of editing. 20 days of editing. Pretty awesome. 20th day of editing. And let's see where we left off here. So we're walking down the street. Weird guy, played by me, walking behind her. She pulls out her Justice for Hire app. She presses and we pull back. And the hero's here. He checks his app. So I have to do a little more. Actually, no, that's it. somebody comes up behind him, obviously watching him. Okay. And this is where I left off.
Okay, cool.
Okay, this is where I left off. So, I'm going to finish this scene. I think I might have told everybody before that we've decided as a community during our last hero meetup that the series is going to be primarily widescreen, not widescreen, vertical. Because the vertical format just offers so much more. So, that being said, I'm gonna chop it up, finish chopping it up, traditional filmmaking style of a widescreen formatted film, and that the pacing that goes along with that, and then from that pacing, I'm going to recut the scene for mobile, and so. And we'll see how that works and feels. I may not do that again. This is the second scene I cut in the series. First scene I cut like that. The mobile ended up being way more dynamic, way more interesting for the eye. So we're gonna do that one more time this time. But I have so many ideas for vertical that I'm kind of feeling like makes no sense to. To do it otherwise. All right, so game focus there. All right. So I'm checking out all these little details too, because there I am behind her. So I'm going to cut before you can see me here. Or maybe I did that on purpose. I don't know. Maybe that was the wrong thing to do. Let's see if this looks better. I think it doesn't look better because all these little continuity, cuts for continuity make sense. All right. let's try this. I'm just trying to make sure that this cuts beautifully. I can't believe it's, what day is it? 29th? So it's been 6 days since I cut, maybe? Yeah, so you know what? I might be spending too much time in the scene. The reason I might be spending too much time in the scene is because on this one moment is because vertically it's gonna feel different. That's what I'm talking about. That there's certain things that cinematically in the pacing here that if I try to adhere to the previous ways things that were done for film and TV, it just wouldn't work. For what we're going to do vertically, because we're not simply, from a vertical standpoint, we're not just repurposing a widescreen for vertical and then just zooming in. You know, we're actually like using the vertical format to engage the eye and to give a different type of feeling and more data. You know, it's kind of like the I was just talking about this yesterday because we saw Tick Tick Boom. And I saw only part of it, and like I did, you know, obviously it's directed by the guy who stars Andrew Garfield, and it's directed by the guy who did Hamilton. And the thing why Hamilton was not only well timed with the pandemic, because I don't think anybody would really be interested to watch. Essentially a pre-recorded play. Like there have been many pre-recorded plays that have not popped off like Hamilton did, and like, you know, but I wanted to watch Hamilton because I knew it was hip hop. And the thing about hip hop, more specifically, rap, one of the four elements of hip hop, if you know your history of hip hop, that rap is a technology that delivers information very quickly. And so with rap, essentially being able to tell story in a way that at the speed at which culture is absorbing story. So rap changes immediately with the culture, and the culture it essentially reflects the culture. So when people rap super fast and people are listening super fast, they're processing a lot of information very fast, and they're like, oh man, it's awesome, you know. But film doesn't move like that way, and TV and lots of other media don't move that way. And to be specific to music, Tick Tick Boom did not move that way. Tick Tick Boom, one of the challenges with these songs, I have a point to all this when it comes to our vertical editing versus the widescreen, is that Tick Tick Boom has the same challenges that a traditional musical has, which is that is a similar challenge that most action films have, which is that the action does not move the story forward. Oftentimes the story stops for the action. And I'm not the first to say this. As a matter of fact, I think the first person to identify this is Rick Myers, the world's foremost film critic, martial arts film critic. and a dear friend and advisor of mine, who I've been talking about for the last few days, several days. So the problem with many action films is that the action scenes don't progress the story. The problem with musicals is that oftentimes the musical scene, the musical number, does not progress the story. Instead, what it does is it makes you sit in the moment and sit in an emotion, because a lot of times many songs are about that one feeling, that one experience, and diving deep into that. And so that was my challenge with Tick to Boom, is that the story stopped. I'm listening to a song that I honestly don't like that much because it's not my taste in music. So I'm like, okay, versus Hamilton, where I'm listening to the stories and I'm like, man, like this is rapid fire information. This is dope, you know? So I say all of that to relate right back to what I'm talking about with our editing. The editing of our series, when it comes to vertical versus widescreen, vertical gives us the ability to give more information at a higher speed than we can do in vertical, in horizontal, and widescreen, regular widescreen format. So right now I'm editing a standard widescreen because I'm experimenting. I'm figuring out, does this work for me to cut how I cinematically know things should be paced, but then to rip that apart after I'm done. And say, okay, now we recut the scene, we readjust the scene for horizontal. And so it's interesting. Like I said, I may keep the pace here. I may keep that same format. That may be my workflow. I may cut widescreen and then adapt to vertical. The challenge with that is that it takes longer. But the value with that is that there is a possibility that we release this entire series both vertical first and then horizontal afterward to sell to Netflix or to Amazon or to whatever streaming service that we want to partner with or sell to, or whatever particular type of deal structure we figure out. But there is value in having both of these formats ready. So right now that's how I'm doing it. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it like that, because I would rather focus on doing one thing really, really well than taking a long time to do two things in a kind of split way. So we'll see. Back on it.
Speeding.
All right. Seems to work. All right.
I'm just gonna speed this. Jan, take a step to your right, left a little bit. I'm trying to. Okay. Okay. Action.
And you can turn.
Okay. Action. Okay. Action.
Alright, this thing's getting cut, it's getting cut, it's getting cut, it's getting cut up, it's getting done, it's getting done. That's what I'm talking about. I feel, incredibly good when there's even a little cut made. It's because, like I said, each one of these cuts is a step toward. This means so much to me. I don't think I cannot. You may not be able to fathom how much this means to me. Every time I make a cut in here, it means this is like the crown jewel of what we're working on with Real World, because it is actually the thing we're doing. That is the end product. It is the proof of concept.
And
all the app talk, all the other stuff, it's really to get someone like Creator in a movie. He's a cosplayer. He said, hey, I want to do this, and he was professional. He showed up. He started creating stuff on TikTok because he saw us. We saw him. He became a cast member. And it's as simple as him having good ideas and then being able to create with us. That's what we're doing. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. To allow people that want to contribute to be able to contribute, and then to show up. He's on set. We're shooting on 6K cameras, with a top-notch cinematographer in New York. Guy made his own costume. He has a fight scene with a UFC fighter that he met that day on set. Like that's what we're doing. We're making this real with the audience. This is for real. So when I say that Real World is all about making movies and shows for the audience, with the communities, like I'm for real. Like this is what we do, and there's a way to do it, and that's what happens when you treat people and their creativity with respect and love and reverence. You actually get stuff where people show up and they do amazing work because they're given the opportunity to do amazing work. So that's the ecosystem we're building.
Yeah, that's great.
We want everyone to have the opportunity to create in this way.
Sorry? Yes.
Look at that. And this is a blessing. That's what you call this shot. The shot is a blessing. You have a bird flying over his head like a hero as he eats his bag full of chocolate and nuts. It's like hilarious, but it's also beautifully timed.
It's a little more boom. Yeah, that's great. Sorry? Yes. Excuse me. Yes.
So I'm cutting just before he picks up his hand. I don't need to cut. What am I talking about? Let me just trim the shot from here. I want to finish this scene tonight, and I think I can. I thought I'd only be on here for like 20 minutes, but I think I can finish this scene tonight, and I don't think it'll take much longer.
Excuse me.
And another cool thing about this is that like I think I talked about last week, not cutting back to certain shots. So I'm leaving these shots because we may I'd rather not cut back, and I don't think we will cut back.
Okay, speeding.
Okay. And action. Excuse me.
Alright. It's pretty cool. Yeah, guys, I mean, I can't wait to show you. I just cannot wait to just, every time I do a cut, I can't wait to show you some stuff, other stuff we got. Because this, like, there's just so much good energy that got put into this project. And I was just reading a comic book too. Just reading a comic book called Icon and Rocket, and you know, it's a milestone DC comic, and the heroes are like stopping the drug trade, and they're like, you know, burning poppy seed crops to like internationally to stop international trafficking of heroin, all this stuff, and you know what I'm mentioning. Well, the reason I'm mentioning this is because you know they're talking about this stuff, and they're doing all these actions, but the writers, like they start talking about like the other side, the systemic problems, the governments, and all this other stuff that where the world economy actually relies on the exact things that we know like hurt our world. So like if you stop the drug trade, it actually affects like the international economic structure, because infrastructure, because the drug trade is actually a managed and regulated part of our lives, even though like it's against the law. You know, so it's like it contemplates ideas like that, and which I think is cool that it contemplates ideas like that. It's like those are important things to think about. But, and I say but, I think the writers didn't go deeper than that to talk about the true systemic change, because they may not like have thought it through. And so I'm mentioning all this because Justice for Hire is an example of us thinking through a future where people are actually heroes. So that's why it's more like science fiction, because science is below the mind, you know, and and that is not my own saying, but it's from a spiritual teacher, that science is below the mind, meaning that the mind is here and the mind creates science to understand certain things. And so, so the mind identifies processes, etc., and turns that into science. And then that's why science is always, our minds are always expanding to understand more, and that's why science is always changing and always elevating, and our old understandings get proven wrong and upgraded, etc. So, when it comes to Justice for Hire, we look at it as near future sci-fi, because it's not a comic book where we're like, oh, okay, superhero, yeah, good thing. Well, I don't know what anything else, but we did the good thing, and now we have to go and deal with our superhero lives, because our writing, our ability to write for the type of future that we're really fighting for, may be limited. So I think science fiction takes a different approach and starts to really, like, great science fiction to me truly contemplates how the world could be. And I think great science fiction is great. So, this is us contemplating, what would the world be like if there was a vigilante app? What would the world be like? And this is not a vigilante app, it's an entertainment show. But what would that do to culture? What would that do when the vigilante app is legalized and it's no longer vigilantism, but instead is actually more akin to the original, to the origins of the police, to the origins of, I forgot the name. I can pull, if any of you read the Justice for Hire comic book issue 0, you'll see reference to a lot of these organizations. I think Pinkerton and all these private militias.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, action.
So, what happens when us standing up as heroes together, as a culture, yields the type of world that we actually want to live in? And what does that world look like? So, these are great questions to ask, and to have this software, meaning a show that we can play with. This is great. To play with together, that we can create together, within together, and more. This puts us in a really advantageous position as a culture, as a group of creators, producers, all that puts us in a really advantageous position to be able to contemplate this kind of stuff. So.
All right, Kid Safe Works. Employ the update.
Yeah, guys. And like I said, everybody who's watching, who pops on, either on TikTok or Twitch, feel free to ask questions. JusticeForHire.app to join the show.
Kid Safe Works. Deploy the update. All right. All right. Kid Safe Works. Deploy the update. Kid Safe Works. Deploy the update. All right. Kid Safe Works. Deploy the update. Works. Deploy the update.
All right. So seems like possible that was the last shot of the scene. I'm not sure if this is the case, but we'll check right now for this scene.
Ready?
All right. I think everything else after this might be little cuts, like little things that I want to add to the vertical version. So we'll see. How odd. What is going on here?
Okay, ready, and ready? Ready, Jordy? Camera rolling?
Yep.
Okay, action.
I like that shot more potentially than this shot.
Ready? Going ready.
Speeding.
Action.
Yeah, I like this shot more because it's more artistic. This is like,
Everybody ready?
Okay, I'm speeding.
All right. Oh, and please don't look into the camera. Okay, you can look left or right. Okay, ready, and ready? Ready, Jordy? Camera rolling?
Yep.
Okay, action.
that's cool. This is the shot.
Ready? Ready, Jordy? Camera rolling?
Yep.
Okay, action.
This is the shot. The shot, and we'll cut it. We'll cut the vertical version. We'll make a small piece at the top. That's the full shot. We'll zoom in to cowboy in the bottom shot, and it'll be dope. Or maybe we'll add some other stuff around it. I don't know what's going on. Alright. Just added this shot here.
All right, Kid Safe Works. deploy the update.
All right. Everybody, I feel really good about tonight. I feel like we got something done. I'm gonna play the scene one more time so everyone can see it. I'm gonna put you a little closer. Actually, on TikTok, I'm gonna turn you right here. And here we go. Playing on double speed.
All right, keep saying towards deploy the update.
Cool. Cool. That's the same. That's the same. That's the same. So the scene is now fully cut vertically. There is a shot at the end. That needs to be done. So I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. I'm pressing save. I got a little bit more important work to do before I go to sleep. I am always grateful for you guys on TikTok, on Twitch, on YouTube, and Instagram. Everybody that's watching us and that is a part of this show, Justice for Hire. Anybody can be a part of the show from justiceforhire.app. You can become instantly, like literally, like within less 2 minutes, you are become a hero, a villain, or a client that hires heroes and villains. The whole storyline is about an app that's like Uber for heroes, where you can hire a hero or become one and get paid. It's our first show. It's our first show of the world's first social film studio, our company Real World. R-E-E-L, like a movie reel, World. W-U-R-L-D, because you're in it. And that's all one word, and you can become a part of Real World. You can help us make more movies and shows like this, like Justice for Hire, except from other genres. We want to do fantasy, sci-fi, and more, comedy, romance, etc. We want to provide tools. We have patent-pending technology. We want to provide tools for people to make shows the same way we're making them right now with Justice for Hire. So you can invest in Real World, own a piece of the company from wefunder.com/realworld. That's WeFunder, WeFunder.com. WeFunder.com/realworld, REELWURLD. You can invest and own a piece of the company. So all these different perks and all this other stuff, but this is really actually about ownership. So the perks are just, because people are familiar with perks from crowdfunding, but we're gonna have everything on there from like you will have an NFT of your stock certificate as well. So if you're into NFTs, that's cool. We are a pre-NFT company, meaning that we're metaverse forward, but we're very much focused on actually not getting caught up in the buzzwords of metaverse and NFT and all this other stuff. But we know there's value there in the long run. So we're doing something that's very, very sustainable. It's a $2 trillion market, like I said before, and it's a huge opportunity. So get involved with Real World if you can. Get involved with Justice for Hire immediately, no matter what. It's too cool, and our community is too cool. People are really, really making some amazing stuff, and I love you guys. My name is Jan, and I love doing this. It's a privilege and an honor to do this with you guys and for the greater good. So I love it. Have a great night. And I'm signing off TikTok, and then I'll sign off Twitch. Twitch folks, I love you guys too, man. You guys are great.